Good day, everyone. As promised, here is the second half of our orientation day. Just very quickly, we're going to go over how to find the sites we need. We're going to show you a neat website that'll help you manage that. We're going to talk a little bit of what your school day is going to look like. We're going to talk about assignments and making sure the parents are in the feedback loop, in the communication loop. We are going to talk about asynchronous collaboration. What does that word mean? And then if there's time, or at least I'll try and make sure there's some links available to some interesting projects that you might be able to go ahead and check out. So first off, there is an interesting website called Symbaloo.com. Now all of the junior high LearnNet students have gone ahead and they've signed up for a free account. So it doesn't cost anything. You could just use your ShareMail credentials, your school zone credentials, and you could get access to it. It won't be part of the Google Apps, but you can certainly use it. There are, if there was one website you absolutely needed that would get you access to everything related to your schoolwork, that would be argyle.epsb.ca. And at the top of that, you're going to see these two links, one for mylocker.learnnet.net, and that's going to take you to your daily lessons, and a school zone link. And that school zone link will be where you will access school news items as well as that we don't otherwise provide to you in the classroom, um, or to uh, your report cards at the end of the year. Okay. All these other websites are going to be extremely useful. eLive, obviously, we're going to use that at least twice a week, if not more. And all these other websites are going to be very useful tools. But we are going to discuss that a bit more in class. Okay. Now, the next piece is going to be finding your lessons. And we're going to talk a little about finding those and what that's going to look like. I'm going to take you to my locker quickly and just show you what that looks like. So here is your locker. You're going to see all your subjects listed in these tiles. One thing that is unique to Live Online is any of these links that you click on are going to all take you to the exact same place. It's going to take you to our classroom. This is our asynchronous learning environment. As you scroll down through here, you're going to see some important things. One, there are collaboration areas, and this is consistent in all of the Live Online classrooms, that you will find an area where you're going to be collaborating with students, likely outside of your usual class time. Okay, you're going to find news items. You're going to find some other interesting tidbits that you're going to need to get a hold of your teacher, get in touch with your classes, and be involved in your education overall. As you scroll down, you're going to see individual subjects. So you'll see language arts, math, and underneath them there are links to grade-specific subject areas. Okay, so you can click on those links and you can follow along to those. We're going to talk a little bit about feedback, but in looking at your learning day, um, you're going to spend most of your day involved in your asynchronous lessons. Those are going to provide the background that's going to feed into our synchronous sessions. So when we meet together twice a week, uh, once as a multi-graded class and then in individually graded classes, we're going to be trying to extend the learning from the basics that we've covered from those individual lessons you've been completing inside of this classroom. Okay, um, that will uh, so you're going to be spending most of your day involved in that process. So you should be working on your lessons now and working to get them completed. Um, that's what we refer to as the asynchronous piece, because you can work on that at any time. It's available to you 24/7. The synchronous piece is when we meet together as a class, and that's when we're working on projects and collaborative ideas and things that are going to extend over a longer period of time. Okay. Um, you will find links right at the top there for your learning plan. We have also in 6, 7, and 8, 9 prepared a website for our students. And on that website, you will be tracking your progress in your lessons so that we can make sure that you're on track, or identify you early on if you need assistance getting through your lessons. You will be tracking your phys ed. There's this page in there for you to record some information in regards to your options, particularly for 8-9. And in one project that both of us are working on, both Kathy Fury and myself, is we're looking at isolating some specific outcomes for each month from each of the core subjects that we are going to focus on and work with you to help you articulate your understanding of that particular learning outcome. The idea being that we want to get you more aware and more able to talk about what it is you understand about a specific learning goal that we have in mind for you, and being able to identify what it is going to be your next steps to kind of carry that forward. Okay, it's a bit of a long process to get you there, but we're starting that process in grade 6 and working up to grade 9. Okay, the there is an orientation day assignment. I'm just going to go back here, grab the link. We're going to click on this and go to our classroom. And you will see at the top of both classrooms in 6, 7, and 8, 9 an orientation day assignment. Now this orientation day assignment, right now you can see the student view. So you should get an edit my submission button. There's two types of assignments that you're going to submit to us. One is an online text assignment, and that's what this is. When you click on the edit my submission button, it's going to take you to a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. And you can type text in here. You can also put in a hyperlink. So if you highlight a piece of text and you click on this, you're able to paste the URL to a video. In this case, it's the short URL to a YouTube video, and include that inside of your post. The other type of assignment is a file upload assignment. So this button will say upload file instead, or choose file, and you can click on that button and it will follow the directions, and it will allow you to select a file from your computer to upload and share with your teacher. Okay, so they're fairly straightforward. There are videos in the Argyle Answer Network, or even there's probably links inside of your classroom, right? Here's the technical support link, which is going to take you to the Argyle Answer Network. And so you can type your questions in here, such as submitting assignments, right? And you can search for videos and tools related to that. So here's a video, and you can watch that, and it'll give you all the details that you need. While we're in here, because the next slide is about forwarding share mail, okay? Because when you submit an assignment, we will get an email almost immediately afterwards. Then we'll know that you've submitted something, and we want to go and find that for you. Oh, would you look at that? Let's go like this. Delete that. But we'll get an email almost right away, and we will respond to you as quick as we can. But that will come to you by email. There we go. So if you wanted to forward your email to your parents, which we definitely encourage you to do, so that way they're in the communication loop. Everything you get, they will get a copy of. And here's the directions for how to do that. It used to be that we set up parent accounts, but we found that statistically the parents were never checking their email. They were usually using their kids' email because that was the one that was easiest to log into that day. Or they had already set up forwarding. And it was always hard to kind of track parent email addresses. They often change throughout the school year. So that was an issue piece and why parents don't have an email address. But this makes it so simple to forward that to your parents' email account, whether it be at work or their phone or wherever they're at, and then they'll know everything that you get. Okay, so all the discussion forum topics, all of the responses to your graded assignments, you'll be able to see all those and those comments. Okay, so that would be the ideal place to go ahead and do that. So that covers that. That was two important pieces there. was making sure you're part of that loop. And so go ahead, if you have not yet done that orientation day assignment, go ahead and do it. Make sure you forward your share mail to your parent and double check that they're part of that loop, okay? That was the video just right there. Now I mentioned asynchronous, right? So you are going to have to collaborate outside of the classroom. Two ways you might do that is one, through our forums. So we have forums set up in the classroom, and they are there for students to respond to specific topics. But students have a great deal of liberty in terms of what they can communicate in there. The key message, though, is to try to remember very carefully who it is that's on the other side, so that you're being very aware of the messages as you're writing them, what's going into that, and that we too, as the audience, in reading those messages, give an ounce of grace to that, so that we are realistic in understanding that, you know, there may be some mistakes in the communication, or but we just need to be reasonable and considerate of one another, so that we aren't necessarily taking offense to what might go into the forums, because depending on the topic, sometimes it can tread in that general direction. You will also find that there's going to be the time that you are going to have to collaborate as a group outside of our class time, so that you can contribute your piece to the next synchronous class. So you will have to be able to meet, and we're going to discuss how to do that, because the technical how is one piece to try and learn to manage, but the second piece is understanding your role within the group. How do we ensure that not one individual is responsible for the entirety of everything that gets done? How do we make sure everybody pulls their own weight? And part of that is just being really clear about exactly what to do and communicating with one another so that that's really clear. And we'll go over that during our class time, but we want you to be aware going into this that that's one of the things we want to deal with there. Now there's a few links here, so that's the bulk of it. Here's a few links to some interesting videos of projects that students have done in the past. Just because of the necessity to keep this video brief, I won't click on them right now, but you have the video, so if you are so inclined, you can go ahead and click on some of these links and or write some of these links into your browser and go ahead and check them out. Otherwise, we are looking forward to a fantastic year of learning, and we hope you are too. We're always welcome to questions, so do not hesitate to ask. And if there's anything else we can do to make this a more vital and enjoyable learning experience for you, let us know, and we will do our utmost. Take care, everybody, and have a great school year.